So welcome back to my first step series on Node. So hi everyone. What we've done so far is we've installed VS Code, Visual Studio Code. We've also installed Node, and we got a simple program up. And I introduced you to prompt sync so we can get data off of the user. And we did a simple calculation. What we want to do now is just what does an if look like in JavaScript? And we'll do loops in another video. So what have I done so far? I made a new folder. I installed with npm prompt sync and I got my main.js file, but it's empty here. And so what I want to do is just sort of get ready. So I'm going to go const. Ooh, cap lock is on. So const. I'm going to call it input to make it look like I'm in Python, and that's equal to require. And what do I want to require? Prompt sync. It found it for me. And then I need to run it right away. So that's what that little notation does there. That function I just made, run it, kind of stuff. And so we're going to do a simple little thing where we prompt the user for a paper type and also prompt the user for an ink type. And anytime you give the user a choice, then you immediately need to figure out, well, what did they choose? And typically, when you're doing that, you need an if structure or if, else structure. You need something like that to sort out, okay, if I gave them a choice of paper, which one did they choose? If I gave them a choice of ink, which one did they choose? And so that's just standard operating procedure for any program, that once you give the user a choice, you're going to need some type of branching structure to figure out what that choice was. So, but first I got to get the data from the user in that. So I will make another variable. Const seems to be my new favorite. So I'm going to call this user paper. The concept there is what paper did the user pick? And so that's going to be equal to input. And the message is going to be, this might be long, but enter, I guess it would be R for a regular paper. And the other one we had was heavy. If it was a heavy bond, that costs a little bit more. So H for heavy. And then the last type was Mylar. So this is one of my Python examples for my another course I teach. And so M for Mylar, which is the most expensive. We're going to keep the cost simple on this, $1 each, and it goes up each time, and that kind of stuff. So what we're hoping is that the user will type in either an R, an H, or an M, right? That's what we're hoping, right? I'm going to copy this, and we're going to do the same thing because we need them to pick an ink choice as well. And we said L for line in my, right? So is it just a vector plot with a lot of line work? Is it a polygon plot, which might have cross-hatching, but typically more lines? Or was it an ortho plot, which is usually solid color and chews up a lot of ink on the plotter, right? Again, and we're expecting them to type in an L, a P, or an O for that. It wouldn't hurt to actually, is this working, right? And what does it mean by working? Well, do I get these prompts and that? So I'll tell Node to run my main.js and that. And so the idea is I would type in M. And already, okay, I want to make a little change. I need to have always colon space is my standard, just to clearly separate the prompt from what the user's typing in. And then I'm going to need an if structure. I can't get around it. Once you give someone a choice, and you got to ask, well, what was the choice, right? Oh, not ink paper. We'll call it user ink. And that, just to be consistent. Rename things. Refactoring is a constant process. Trying to come up with a better name to describe what you're doing. So user paper, user ink, and then I'm gonna I'll have some more variables in that. Now these can't be consts because I'm going to be changing their values. I'm going to initialize them to not a number, which basically will blow up the calculation in that. And if I get hit on R, H, or M, or L, P, or O, I will set the cost and that. So I could use var, but the next most restrictive way to define a variable in JavaScript is to use let, right? So let, and I'll call it paper cost, and I'm going to set it to not a number, right? That will blow up any calculation basically. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't, I need to make sure that my logic actually changes this eventually. Ink cost, not a number. Okay, that's my goal in that. Now I have to do a little branching structure to sort out, well, what paper did the user choose? So if user paper is equal to R, wrong language. In Python, I don't need the parentheses. Here I do. And then typically some braces, right? I will say that paper cost is equal to $1 an inch. That would be the concept. Else if, right? And I'll have another user paper is equal to heavy. Then I will set it to, whoops, almost had that. I will set it to paper cost is equal to $2 because that's more expensive paper. I'll put my semicolons in and that. And then I'll just do an else. Else I'm going to assume that else I'm assuming they're doing Mylar, right? So if they don't put them on the proper characters, they're going to get hit with the most expensive paper, which means I don't lose money, right? And that. So paper cost is equal to $3. We'll go. Let's keep it simple calculations today, right? I don't know why I'm doing like actual prices. The computer wouldn't care about that other zero. The 10 tells it to, do a decimal number. Now I'm going to go Alt Shift F and it'll reformat the code for me. So the concept will come in. User paper is at R, it's $1. If it's H, it's $2. Otherwise, we're going to assume that they typed in Mylar. In that. One nice thing we could do is why do they type in a lowercase r? So I'll go, is it upper or two upper? So yeah, two uppercase. I'll flip that to uppercase. And 2.2 uppercase. Okay. I guess I need to actually put light the firecracker, as I say. Right? So convert that to uppercase and do the comparison. I could also do a thing like what if they type in the full word regular, just take the first character kind of concept, but I want to keep it kind of simple today. And here I'm going to, I'll do a console.log paper cost just to make sure it's working. I'll take it out. That's enough to test, right? Is that working? Why write more code if this part's already broken? And that, so if I type in Polygon, I should get $2 and that, and I'll type in anything for this one. So it said 3. Oh, because I typed in the wrong thing. Let's do that again. I should type in a proper paper choice, right? So if I go heavy, I should get 2. And I can type in anything I want in here, right? 2. So it's working. So I'm good with that. And so that I'm okay with that block of code. But that's what you have to do. You have to do a comparison. And if it's true, do something else, do another test else. And these are mutually exclusive branches, right? You only get to go down one of these. And it's the first one that trips true for you in that. I should do the lowercase test, right? What if I type in a small h? Will I get $2, right? Okay, so even that's working. So if they type in a lowercase h or uppercase h, we're okay. We'll catch that and help the users out. Should I, this is a bit of a cheat, and I'm going to flip all these to ink, user ink, right? So user ink, and if it's equal to, I guess, line, right? Make it $1, and I'll make this user ink, and if it's equal to Polygon, we'll make it 2, and I got to remember to change the variable to ink cost. In that, I did call it ink cost, right? That's interesting. Not picking it up. That's okay. These should all be in cost. I'll see if it'll pick it up now. No, it's picking it up in IntelliSense now. Good. Otherwise, in cost is equal to $3. In that. And so I should probably do a quick test to see, well, is that working? So we'll also take this. We'll go in cost. Just a quick test to make sure what we have is working. No point throwing more code into this if these few lines already are broken. So if I do a heavy and a polygon, I should get about $4. So HP 2 and 2, that's $4 an inch, and that kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna need some more prompts after that. So that part's working out. And then we can always just complete the calculation at this point. And that I'm gonna actually, I guess, get 3 more things from them. And that. These I will just comment out for now. I need to get how big is the plot. And so this will be height. And this will be width. And this will be number of plots. How many of those, right? Or number of prints. How many of those do you want? I'll just change this quickly. Enter the height. Enter the width. And then enter the number of plots. And then I can sort of get my calculation done. One thing is these are technically, I need these to be numbers. So there is a number function in JavaScript that will take that text and convert it to a proper number. I'm going to be doing calculations, so it's best probably so that other parts of JavaScript don't get confused in that I do this as a number, and then hopefully I don't get some strange things happening. And then I can just I'll make a new variable. This can be constant at this time, right? Because it's going to calculate it once. I'll call it plot cost is going to equal, don't need 2 equal signs here. So my variable plot cost is going to be equal to, we'll go the number of plots times, and we're just going to add up the paper and ink costs. We'll do a linear inch charge versus a square inch charge. So we'll go paper cost plus ink cost. Now if these don't get set, then we'll get not a number, and then we'll know our logic is not working, but we should be okay in that. And then I need to times this by the max. So is there a math.max function? There is in that, and it takes a series of values. So I'm going to use max. Return me the max of height and width in that. So we're going to charge them on the maximum dimension. Again, so that we don't lose money. Kind of concept. And then we can plot out console.log, and we'll use I guess log would help. The back quotes just below the escape key, typically above the tab, or way over on the left-hand side of your keyboard. A lot of people don't use those too often, so I like to point out where those are in that. And we will say the total cost of the plot run is, that's what we used to call them back in the day. I don't think I'm clicked in there. Plot cost. Probably some formatting we can do if we wanted to do it like to 2 decimal places and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that now in that, but just and I'll take out these lines in that. So this is really about how to if, else if kind of structures. In Python it's elif. in that, but there's usually something in the language, that branching structure, that will help you do that. So get the data from the user, right? Initializing my cost, which I know should blow up my calculation, because I'm trying to prove no matter what happens, I should get this set to a value in that. And the same thing on the ink. Set the ink, then go get the height, width, and the number of plots that they want to do, and then we'll figure out how much the whole shebang is going to cost. So CLS, just to clear the screen a bit, up arrow twice. No, yeah. So I'm going to do heavy polygon. So that's $4. This is $4 an inch. We'll try to use numbers that we predict, where we know what we should get. So heavy polygon. Okay. O is not defined. So a little typo somewhere. Ooh, something slipped in. Bad you in that. So we'll do that again. CLS and that. Run it again. Heavy polygon, and that's we're at $4 an inch. Height will be 10 inches. We'll say 20. So the max of that is 20. So so we should be at basically 80, and then we'll go 10 plots, right? 800, right? In that. So maybe you want to put like a dollar symbol in there. Dollar. Is that going to throw things off? So we'll do that one more time just to see if we can get our little dollar symbol off to show up. So heavy polygon. This time we'll flip it 20, 10, because suppose take the max of those two, and then also 10. $800 there. So that's enough just to show you just how we do if, else structures. And also still keep practicing with the prompt and doing stuff with Node, but at the command line. And we'll save the web stuff for later. That's all for now.